So the first sworn statement has M. Goodwin, P number 2073,
Right.
taking his sworn statement at the Mandalay Bay at 2:35 in the morning on 2 October.
Right.
All right. So I want to make sure everybody knows that. Now, this is the first release of all the sworn statements, the total pages, and I reference it as 1,235 page document. That's how I reference.
What's the website?
I don't know. You got to look it up. I don't
What's
have
your website that you're posting this
on? It's a Wix website.
Yeah. Are you wanting people to go to it?
Yeah, but it's a long one, man. It's
it's in the description.
It is twintalkradio.wixsite.com. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
And so you look under Vegas shooting, and that's where all these are. And
because we're going to have other topics down the road, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Once we solve this one,
this one's going.
Here's the
deal,
be the
abyss because there's so much unsolved.
Well, and purposely, we're looking at this because we're trying to prove that Paddock was the shooter.
We are trying to prove it. And it's not.
And every single time we try to prove it, we can't.
No.
I mean,
and just because doesn't work.
Yeah, right. And so for all the families out there who got shot, you got shot by somebody. We know that.
Right.
One or multiple people. We
do have feelings, and we understand that.
Right.
We're just trying to get to the point and why this was the cover-up that it must have been, and the purpose, because most of our videos was really up to the point of the shooting even occurring was all jacked up.
Yes, right.
Let alone then after the shooting.
Absolutely. Yep. No, you're absolutely right, man. So as we go through here, I just want to remember, instead of 9:59, like we were really stuck on that the first few videos, right? I think the key time here, as I'm looking at this, is 02:35 in the morning. Okay.
That first interview. The first
interview.
Sworn statement.
I mean, we know where Campos was.
Right.
We have video of when he was in the hallway.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a pellet or a 22 or the moment. We have access to it.
It's the rooms at the end of the hallway, and apparently, from what he was saying, they put a bracket up on the stairwell door. I talked to you, it's about on 100, on 32. And it's you go down all the way to the last room outdoors.
The direction of shooting is probably the people, so look out for that. Is he shooting down this way? He was. That's how I thought.
Right.
And we know his sworn statement. So as we go through here, but anyway, we're looking at different names. We need people to post this information. We need it. Help with it. 1 million people obviously are better than 2. You guys have a lot of information out there that we can use. So let's band together and go through this thing. Hopefully we can get some questions answered. So the first sworn statement was handwritten. The second one was recorded. So the first sworn statement, I just wrote him out. I tried to write it verbatim, but I mean, his English was horrible. But it's interesting some of the language he uses, because it's not normal language that you would use. But we'll get to that one. So after every person in this sworn statement that I felt we needed to know, or that he's referencing, I just put omitted number 1, omitted number 2, omitted number 3, right? So we can keep track. I mean, at a certain point, we're going to call these guys. Okay, he called number 1, and number 3 came to see him, and number 5. And so it's the only way we can track this stuff.
Right, right.
It's literally the only way, and until we have names. So,
and you're saying most of those guys aren't even in the report?
well, he refers them, but the police officer who took his statement, this first statement, I haven't seen his name anywhere.
Okay. And then what about the people that he mentions?
I've seen video of these guys, so I know we can collaborate.
I see.
The names and start putting names to it. So as we go down sworn statement by sworn statement, we'll answer these in the PDF.
Right.
And we'll just keep the PDFs up to date on the website.
Yeah.
And if anybody answers, again, if anybody out there answers these for us, send us, what you know is to be true.
Sure.
Like omitted number 0 is this guy because this is his sworn statement, or this is, I've heard this guy and he here's the audio, from the radio. Here's the interview he gave, or something like that. Something that corroborates it. And 'cause really, we just want to do just the facts so we can understand the gaps.
Is the Ellen show considered a sworn interview?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sworn statement.
Hey, it's interesting about this case. This was like more people killed. This is a huge, mass shooting, right?
Right.
The biggest ever. And more of these guys have talked on TV than in any other case. I mean, why would you talk on TV? Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. But let's go through this sworn statement real quick. This is the
Let's do this.
It says on Sunday, October 1st, 2017. Now remember, Campos is writing this at approximately 2200 hours, which is 10 o'clock at night. I was responding to hot SOS room, which is the alarm system, just as a caveat, whenever there's a door open. I was responding to a hot SOS room using stairwell, attempting to open door on 32nd floor, 100 wing. It was blocked off, went down a floor to use another wing stairwell, approaching room 32-135. Shots were fired as I was leaving, and I got hit on my left calf, called for backup and security dispatch, sent armed security with security manager, responded, and I was evacuated and went down to baggage area where SWAT cleared area, then got medical treatment. 4 Metro officers first responded before I was evacuated, then SWAT. End of sworn statement.
I'd have to really analyze that.
Yeah, so I went through this thing, and basically, what's interesting is there's a lot of videos that show the police officers in a rush that come out of elevators and go all the way down to the end of the hall. So what I'm going to do is calculate the amount of time it took them to do that, because they're rushing, right? It's a fast pace.
Sure.
To walk all the way down to the end, it's fast paced. Somebody's shooting. So Campos would be a lot slower than that, and he walked it twice. Remember. So let's take a step back. He was responding to a hot SOS room using the stairwell. Okay.
On the 32nd floor.
So he was somewhere. So so somebody told him, you got to check this room. And we don't know where exactly he was when he got the initial call from.
Yeah, where was he when he responded?
Don't know. In the second sworn statement, it identifies something, right? Identifies that. But in this sworn statement, he doesn't tell us where he started from. Okay? So he says he goes up the stairwell, 32nd floor, 100 wing. It's blocked off. So he goes down a floor in the stairwell to use another wing stairwell. Okay, look at the Mandalay Bay. It's 3 distinct sections.
Right.
He would have to.
He would have
down the
go
stairwell
all the way one side or another to use
and pass
other
the
stairwell.
elevators in the middle.
Right. Unless there's one stairwell in the middle next to the elevators or something, but.
Is he? I mean, you've seen him. Is he going to use a stairwell or an elevator if they're next to each other?
How long is that taking him?
Well, that's the other thing, right? Because it's about, I don't know, what, 300 feet or something? It's 35 rooms, right? So that's what I'm saying.
He heard a gunshot when he went up the first steps, right? To the 32nd floor. That's why he went down. No?
No, he walks up to
it
the
was blocked.
32nd. And
it was blocked. He hadn't heard shots yet.
Right. Right. He can't get in.
Right. So he hadn't heard shots yet. There's not really an emergency. It's just another SOS alarm coming from another room.
Yeah.
That he's probably going to 50 that night.
Probably.
Every night you probably go on to some kind of alarm.
Sure. Yeah. So he comes down. He goes down.
Right.
And to the 31st.
And being an hourly employee, he just walks his own little pace to the next stairwell.
Absolutely. But this is interesting.
Of course he does.
Right. So he walks down and he goes, I went down a floor. So we have to assume that means the 31st floor.
Right.
And we have to assume that when he went down a floor, he walked through the 2 doors of the alcove into the 31st hallway.
Yeah.
Took a right.
We're assuming. Correct.
Walked down the hallway of the 31st floor.
To another
the elevator to the center cove. And instead of taking the elevator, he went up the stairwell.
Exactly.
Maybe get exercise.
He's buying time. No. It's just buying time.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Acceptable. Yeah.
Hey, these guys. It's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Okay. He's either. When did he come on shift?
Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, is it like?
I don't have that in a sworn statement. We can get
3 to 11, or what was his shift like? I mean, was he an hour away from leaving at 11 o'clock, and so he's just buying some time?
Yeah.
And so he didn't take the elevator. He just walking.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that.
It doesn't look like he walks up stairs a lot.
No, it's just time. So, but the fact of the matter is, he walks down the 31st floor.
Right.
Hallway to the center, and then however he gets up to the 32nd, he walks back down the 32nd all the way down. Right.
Does the elevator, finds another stairwell, which is there's maybe one in the center. I'm not sure how that layout is, but if not, they're on the ends. That's a long walk. Goes up. What does he do? Then what does he do once he comes up to the 32nd floor?
He walks back down the 32nd all the way down to 135.
Okay.
So he comes all the way. So he's walked that hallway twice, basically down the 31st hallway to the elevator center core, up and then down the 32nd from the center core to the 35th, 135.
Again, he's probably got an hour left of work, and he's just buying time.
We're talking, I know, but we're talking about how much time did it take him to do that? So when he gets
what I'm saying is the dude's not hurrying because he hadn't heard his shots yet.
Right.
He's just responded to another crappy call.
Sure. So he goes down.
At the time.
So he goes down to 135 where the shots were fired. So he goes down to 135 and he turns left and he goes into the alcove, right where the goes through the hallway door and then goes through. Then he sees the other door leading out to the stairwell.
All right.
And it's got a metal bracket on it. Okay.
All right.
He sees a metal bracket.
Yeah.
It's locked.
Right.
So he uses the phone, and I've seen the video. There's a phone inside that alcove, a wall phone. Okay, so he uses the wall phone, supposedly, to call dispatch.
How did he get the bracket off?
He didn't.
Dun dun dun.
No, the engineer comes in and the bracket never comes off. The cops get it. So, but as he goes through, so as he leaves the alcove, right? He's already called the engineers and everybody and said, "Hey, this door's secured," and now I'm hearing drilling sounds, right, out of 135.
Right.
But then he leaves, and his first statement says, as he leaves, he gets hit in the back of the calf. So as he's pinned against the wall, and basically when he gets hit behind the calf,
right,
he calls using his cell phone the dispatch.
Okay.
So the dispatch, I have his sworn statement. I just don't have his name.
Okay.
The dispatch sends security. All right. And then Jesus goes down to the center core.
All right.
Where he sees SWAT, he sees everybody, and then he goes and gets medical treatment. Okay.
So I thought SWAT came up. They took the elevator.
Yes.
Or did they SWAT did?
I guess, I don't know. He doesn't say that.
They haven't broke through that one locked door.
No one's gone through that yet.
Okay.
Yeah, the crew hasn't gone through that yet. So this is just the first statement, right?
This is his statement.
At 2:35 in the morning.
Right.
All right. So the next statement, though, is more detailed. But I want everybody to see this 0235. I mean, really. And in the use of his words when he says in his first statement, I went down a floor, went to the 32nd, couldn't get in the door. I went down a floor to use another wing's stairwell.
Right.
The language just doesn't make sense. All right. I was approaching room 135. Shots were fired. Now, through all of these statements, when we get his statements, when we hear his voice track and his interviews, when we look at Shuck's statements and Shuck's interviews, my personal belief is they got their notes confused because they use the same words, especially this approaching. They use approaching the room when the shots were fired. Okay, just keep that in mind. So anyway, but he says approaching room 135, shots were fired as I was leaving. I mean, these are just questions that I would do a follow-up interview and go, hey, can we focus on this a little bit?
Right.
All right, so let's go to the number 2, right? Let's go to sworn statement number 2.